memory. After 2 hectic weeks, it was time for a break. We headed for Gilwell Park, the Scout Association's main campsite at Gembrook. It was a big camp for 49 visitors, nearly 50 host brothers and sisters, and another 50 leaders and adventurers. And it turned out to be the big highlight of the 4-week stay. After setting up campsites, the first activity was a walking tour of Gilwell. This was the start of a solid activity program that included orienteering, games, crafts, new skills and boomerangs. Camp Chief John Noak taught boomerang throwing and ended up catching one in his mouth. Good one, Slava. Night activities included the opening ceremony, videos, a wide game, a campfire and a nightly coffee shop. The disco was great, Jana dancing on the venturers' shoulders, matron Diana Carter leading the chicken dance, and soon we all got to like the Russian pop group Kino. Natalia seemed to like all music. Even the chores at camp were a new experience for our Soviet friends. They learned traditional scout skills like pioneering, and soon most troops had an elaborate gateway.
I'll see if I've got a thin and swap it in.
Where are we putting the other plate? Oh, we can put it.
You can probably slide down here. I think we can fix it.
The food was great, and there were stacks of it.
No one see more baked beans?
And more exciting scouting skills to learn, like washing and drying up.
So you help each other.
Мы должны помогать друг другу.
Okay? Yes.
But there was plenty of time for fun. One of the most popular activities was the gauntlet.
Давай, и будь самый последний. Давай, давай, Ваня, ты давай.
Я не умею.
Ну так учись, да я у тебя это... Вон Марк, смотри. Правильно, вот это вот видишь, вот испытание.
А ты не сделал, там еще будет вещи. Жирный.
Подожди.
Поможем пугаться.
Да.
Ivan went at the obstacles in top gear.
Turn yourself round and pull your hands up inside and pull to the side. When you're small, it's easier.
Я руки только не на ступеньках. Понимаешь, ты должен действительно показать ему ступеньки, но не ловят. Да.
Very neat. Careful. You right? Go me.
Подожди, Ваня, мы там подойдем подальше. Давай.
Hey! She's really pushing. Let's give it a jump. Probably in the middle.
Don't touch it, thank you. You got to touch it when you're going out.
You hero!
We needed big meals with all that activity. Hiking to Couchman and back, playing bush basketball, disco dancing, or trekking through the bush at night looking for bunyips. It was great to see the stamina of our Kia visitors improving so rapidly. They'd arrived tired and pale, prone to headaches and fatigue. Now they seemed to have unlimited energy. Their anemia level had improved, there was colour in their cheeks, they were gaining weight.
You'll need to help him down for the bottom on. Could you just go with him just to make sure? And then...
Irina, a teacher, said at home the children were usually tired after 3 hours at school. But here at Gilwell, they kept running for 20 hours and still wanted to keep going.
I'm going to go and say
Yes, he makes it! Yeah! He comes over the Chernobyl! Over the terrible! Eventually. Nothing that this kid can't do. I'm necessary.
More media commitments, and this was a really big one. A 30-minute interview on national TV. 9 truckloads of gear and 40 TV crew changed the Gilwell campfire circle into an outdoor TV studio.
Good morning. Yes, that's very good. Anybody else got some more English words to say? If you had some more that you'd learned?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good boy, bad boy.
Hello, well, as you can see, we're on location tonight. We're about 60 kilometres east of Melbourne and a good 15,000 kilometres south of the zone. When you came back to Kiev after being away, what precautions did you have to take? How was your life changed when you came back?
The Couchman program was an activity in its own right, admittedly an unusual one for any scout camp. Then it was back to the regular stuff, like archery and craft work. These were really popular activities.
Well done. It's okay, we'll clean it up in a minute.
You've done well. That's one way.
The chores of camp continued too. Twice a day there were trips to the Q store to collect supplies. with time out for bush basketball, before more of that great food.
We need a light here.
You don't know who Benoni is?
After 7 nights of good weather, the camp finally ended in a typical Melbourne rainy day. The closing ceremony moved indoors, the wet canvas was packed away, and we headed home for our last week in Melbourne. The ABC Couchman program was one major event. For 20 minutes, Peter Couchman fired questions about Chernobyl, and we learned more about what our Soviet friends had been through. Schools closed, relatives lost, probably thousands dead, continual tiredness and headaches. The last 10 minutes were lighter, as we swapped stories about what we'd learned about each other, what we'd done, and how much language we'd learned.
Hello, well as you can see, we're on location tonight. Now this group, about 50 of them, have been brought to Australia by the Scouting movement in association with UNESCO and the Soviet Children's Fund. And they're having a month, 6 weeks holiday here with Australian host families. And the whole idea is, or the hope anyway, is that a month or 6 weeks in the fresh air and with good food will give their immune systems a chance to recover. And they're all having a week here together, the Australians and the Soviets, in this absolutely idyllic setting. Well, how do you communicate with each other? Because you speak different languages, don't you?
We have a couple of phrase books, and also we use a lot of sign language at home.
So how many Russian words? I'm interested, you see, in how many Russian words the Australians might have learnt and how many English words the people from the Ukraine have picked up while they've been here. How many Russian words have you learnt?
I think about 6 or 7, I'm not sure.
6 or 7. What are some of them?
Spasiba, which is thank you.
Spasiba, thank you.
Do svidaniya, goodbye.
Do svidaniya. What about some of you others? What are some of the other Russian words that the Australian... Yes, right up here. Just hold on a sec. Right.
Bistra.
Bistra.
Which means quickly.
Yes.
I find that's really important for
But you got some slow mates, have you?
Yeah, this one here.
Bistra.
Yeah, bistra. Doesn't seem to get through to him sometimes. And niet, which means no.
Yep, yes.
Yeah, and a few others, but they don't remember them.
Okay, well, what about some of you from the Ukraine? What English words have you learned? How many English words have you learned?
Сколько английских слов вы знаете?
Переводить. Please, thank you, sorry, good morning, goodbye.
Please, thank you, good morning, goodbye. What else?
Sorry.
Sorry.
And what else?
And what about some of you others? What English words have you learned?
Еще кто-нибудь знает английские слова?
You're an Australian, yes.
I've heard that's a piece, which means like shut up and go away.
Yes.
Durak.
What's durak?
For a boy, you're a fool.
You're a fool, right?
And dura for a girl.
Yeah.
And well, like pushover, which I've just heard that one. I don't know what it means.
I can see you've learned quite a few Russian words and you're probably communicating very well. Yes, down here. What have you learned?
Salt, tomato, pepper.
Salt, tomato, pepper.
Sausage.
Sausage. You're a big eater. I can see that. You've got all the crucial words. Sausage, salt,
Самые главные
pepper.
слова знаешь.
Tennis, basketball. Кока-кола, пепси-кола.
Koala, Coca-Cola.
Я знаю одно выражение.
I know one word or
Yes.
one expression.
Я знаю, как спросить, как тебя зовут.
I know.
What is your name? И как ответить. My name is Slav.
My name is
Slav.
Slav.
Yes.
Slav.
Well, that's very good. That's a good start, anyway.
Drink,
What has been...
lunch, sleep.
Oh, well, you've got a big vocabulary.
Прекрасный словарный запас.